I love solving puzzles. I love being a detective. I love working with numbers and figuring out two things: how to connect those numbers to their origin. Then I love looking at those numbers and saying, what's the message in here? What are these numbers trying to tell me? In the last 35 years, I have experienced the opportunity to work with an incredible number of companies, starting in the early 1980s with automotive companies and motorcycle companies and paint companies and glass companies, and all the way through the 90s and into the 2000s in Australia with a telephone company, and now working with companies that make a number of air conditioner parts and thermostats and components for making furniture, just an awful lot of companies. And what ties this together is the emphasis on how do you use various tools and techniques that exist and have been developed over those 35 years to improve the quality and the service and the overall experience in an organization. I'm a statistician. That's my bag. I love numbers. I get all kinds of excitement out of working with numbers. At the same time, if those numbers aren't anchored to a real life situation, they don't really have any meaning. The question becomes, how can you be financially successful and have the best quality? W. Edwards Deming was a big guru of the quality movement and of the productivity and competitive position, one of his books, built on techniques that I use extensively. The big two techniques are Six Sigma for the statistical side and variability, and Lean for the process flow and waste side of what's going on in an organization. When you see where there are big issues going on, something's going round and around and around in a circle, or it's not getting through, the time it takes to do something is 4 days when you're only working on it for about a minute and a half. What's going on? So it gives you a framework to ask really, really, really good questions, really pointed questions, and then you can bring in the Six Sigma and the statistics world and say, oh my goodness, we have a situation over here where something is getting really stuck. How do you figure out where the right place to fix something is? But a lot of financial things will tell you that you need to do better. Your customers will tell you you need to do better. I know how to help them see in a way they've never seen before what the underlying issues are. One of the big underlying issues is waste, and one of the big underlying issues is variability. The main flow of processes is referred to as the value chain because that's what brings the value to the organization. And that whole set of processes creates a system that is your organization. And how well that system works is the key to your success. So you start out by looking at the whole picture, the picture of the organization and all of its processes in a really high level, because you can't look at everything in super detail. And then you pick those areas that are really a big concern that impact your finances. Why would an organization be interested in looking at the kind of skills, particularly that I bring to the table, for improvement? Because financially they feel a need, because customers are sending them messages of complaints or going somewhere else. How do you get started? every company, in order to figure out how to improve well in a focused way, needs to start with a picture of their whole set of processes and systems. Not detailed, but a picture of it. And if that picture's done right, value stream map's the best way, you will see inside that organization what is going to be the target for work. Figure out how best to collect data, how best to analyze that data to see if the process is working predictably first, working acceptably second, what are the causes of the process not being predictable or not being acceptable. Decide how to fix or eliminate those causes, and track the process for a while. When you track the process for a while and notice that things have gotten better, then you can move on, particularly since you've got a big picture of the whole organization. All of a sudden you can take that big picture and you can go say, oh my gosh, we did this one well. We've got that particular one fixed. All of that leads to you satisfying your customers better and improving your financial position. All of this works to improve profitability, stimulate growth, satisfy your customers, all the reasons that you're in business. Because it brings all of your employees together to work on this, you all end up working as a unit that contributed to the entire success of the company.